Hi, my name is Adam Grant. I would like to discuss, the pros, the cons, the style of the township of Montclair and what its style slash future will look like in the future. Montclair is not just your typical suburban township dwelling in the state of New Jersey. It is actually a vibrant like city that has a lot of opportunities to offer and is bustling with artists, musicians, entrepreneurs, hippies, and many hardworking people who are working on their craft and talent. And come to think about it, Montclair has kind of been named as the New York of New Jersey nowadays. It's very not hard to see why, as it has, beautiful wide open parks that offer different festivals and music, as well as different buildings that offer opportunities and festivals in film, and has a lot of events going on in different locations. People actually can get hardworking jobs here, and most of all, it's home to a lot of, iconic celebrities, as well as, Stephen Colbert, the actor Patrick Wilson, and surprisingly, singer Justin Bieber lives here. It's kind of funny to think about, but it's true. As we go on and on in this documentary, we're going to be exploring more of, why Montclair, is a great township and what the future could hold for it in terms of some people. Yeah, so I am here inside the Montclair Film Building with Jennifer
Hello.
and Kareem.
Hey, hey.
Is Montclair considered one of the best places to live in New Jersey? If so, why?
Whoa, that's a
Whoa,
big
that's,
question. What would you say, You've been here
Um,
longer than I have, so what would you say?
So I don't live in Montclair, but I
Mhm.
do think Montclair is I think they have a sense of community, like the town itself, which I think sometimes can be hard to find. I think if, even from outsiders who come and visit, people tend to love it. They tend to like it. There's a lot of food, a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of community engagement. There's a lot of things to do for people. So I think it would be one of the best places to live in New Jersey.
There's a lot to offer, and I had bounced around to different states. I'm now in West Orange, so I'm just one town over. I think what's really special about Montclair is a lot of people, at least speaking from the industry side of things, a lot of people who are in the industry or journalists or people, in the arts or storytelling world who were working in the city for many years. This is where they decided to move their families so that they had a little bit more breathing room. And now that things have turned a little bit more remote, it gives us the opportunity to meet people in the industry who are in town a little bit more often. It's not just where they lay their head down at night. It's now where they're also, going out to coffee and grabbing, doing different meetings around town at different restaurants. So it's definitely got this really vibrant industry-based community, which I think, it just helps to sort of feel like you're part of something.
So here we are at the Montclair Art Museum. While we're here at the Montclair Art Museum, I'm going to be interviewing someone who might be able to give us some more background on his opinion about what the future of the township is going to look like. Let's go inside. Hi, so I'm here with Ira, who is the museum director of the Montclair Art Museum. He's lived in Montclair for 35 years. Are there any negatives about the township that you think you would like to share? If so, what are they, and how would we change them?
Well, sure. I mean, I think the challenges that Montclair faces and its residents as well is, one of which is really the rising cost of living in Montclair, which makes it harder for people to either move into Montclair or to stay in Montclair as older people. Many people, as they get older, as I am, think about moving into a smaller home or a different kind of housing, and opportunities for that are limited in Montclair. The entry level is hard to come into Montclair. So I think that's probably one of the principal problems in Montclair is the cost of housing. Unfortunately, real estate tax here is expensive, so that adds to the cost of housing. Maintaining diversity when there's demand and what often is called gentrification can be a challenge as well. So yeah, the community is not without challenges. the infrastructure often needs updating and repair as an older community, but there's a lot of interest in the community among people that live here. Like I said, we just had a session with a group called Aging in Montclair, which is really pushing to make Montclair a better place, a more welcoming place that people can stay in throughout their lives. So there's a lot of people working on it, certainly.
What do you think the future of Montclair will look like?
Interesting. I think that it is certainly a vibrant community, and like I said before, I think it will preserve that because it is so unique. I mean, most suburban locations are just kind of sprawl houses. There's no, you can't walk, you have to drive everywhere. That's not Montclair. It has an interesting population, people in a whole range of fields. It is, I would say, mostly a progressive community, which is wonderful as well. Interests in the arts and culture. There's authors living here. There's artists living here. I think it will remain an attractive community. It's somewhat dependent on the finances and the future prospects of the New York area as well, because so many people earn a living based on work in New York. But again, I think New York has its own appeal to people that continues to attract people to come. So I think the future for Montclair, not without challenges, but should be quite bright.
Bigger and better,
Yeah.
just more people coming in, more young people coming in, I feel, and just creating more arts and more spaces for people to connect, and for businesses to thrive and for the arts to thrive.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I mean, having places like the Claridge year round now allows us to have things that are, reduced costs, because we can get studios to sort of build a relationship with us and understand, if you can give us X, Y, and Z for younger kids or for education classes, we can make sure that we highlight you over here, when we have the opportunity. And so sort of that bartering system will help continue to build to make Montclair bigger and better. And, just like Kareem was saying, having these programs available, things like Story Slam and improv and things that aren't necessarily filmmaking, we can kind of help make people feel like they're part of a community.
Montclair has also been known for its huge variety of different public schools. I'm curious to see, how Montclair will tend to elevate, its educational community within the high school and all of its other public schools, even private schools in a way. I'm really just curious to see, what opportunities they will grant students, as well as, seeing what new achievements they have for students in its educational department. And that's one of the things that brings to my attention about the future of this township. I'm really willing to see where they're willing to take it. I've been living in the suburbs of Montclair, New Jersey since I was born. Like right after I was born in New York City, me and my family moved here. And after I graduated from high school, that's when me and my mom moved out of the neighborhood. It was a pretty devastating time during that time, because you lived here, for a long time. I had good neighbors here, a very good community, a lot of places I could play around here, a lot of places I could play, in my old house, a lot of places I could play in my backyard. It was a whole lot of fun, and I had a lot of good memories with my friends, my family, and it was definitely a mesmerizing memory. And the house right behind me, the greenhouse, that's where I used to live. It wasn't always green. It was pink before. And after that, I moved on and I settled into a new life. Yeah, a very great experience, and I'm glad I got to live it. And Montclair has just pretty much, taught me how to grow and evolve.
We really want to outreach to the community and give the community a lot of reasons to come here.
Yep, like she said, making it a better community. Finally, in conclusion, I know that people have had their mixed opinions about what the future of this township will be like, and I too have my mixed opinions as well. What I like to say is, even though I don't live in Montclair anymore, once a resident, always a resident. I will always continue to support my hometown for the good, the bad, most of all, the better.